ticker symbol TLT. This is going to be the ETF of your 20+ year Treasury bond. Now, I like to look at just TLT by itself, just make it easy and just say, hey, we're going to look at the bonds and say, we're looking at TLT here because that gives you a kind of an overview of what the whole bond market is or is not doing. And using these ETFs, these iShare ETFs, TLT, the Qs, VXX, SPY, you can kind of get a good correlation of overall what is happening in each sector and how the market is overall correlating together. So today, we're just going to look at TLT. We're down around 1% on the day. We're trading in that $88 handle. You can see so far on the week, we're up here close to that $90 range, those mid 89s, and then obviously a big pullback in here on the week. So the body of this candle is showing indecision, but obviously we have a long upper wick in here, and that's just because of the volatility that we had yesterday. And then today, everything's kind of evening back out. Now, as far as our resistance, what are we looking at here to the upside? Well, we're going to be watching that mid 88 area, so about 856 or 88.56 to about 88.69. Anything above there, we're watching this blue line right here. That's that 9-day EMA. Above there, then we're going to see if we can set up shop and work our way back into those upper 89s and then eventually back up here to that $90 range. Now, to the downside in here, we have this big pink line right here. That is going to be your 50-day SMA. It's currently trading at that $88 mark. That is going to be a big support for us. If we do end up reaching through that, then it looks like we're going to be back here like we were all throughout December and January going into February, right here, bouncing off that upper $86 level. Now, as far as our RSI goes, it's neutral in here. Nothing really to worry about. Our volume overall looks like it's going to be about where it has been in the past few weeks here. Obviously, last week, a little bit of an outlier in here, but it looks like we're going to start reverting back to the mean as far as our overall volume goes. The Bollinger Bands, you can see a little wide in here just overall on the weekly, so a little tightening in here. Should be coming up for us here soon. But we're going to have to see how TLT is going to correlate with the overall market. So today we're down around $1. You had that SPY, that kind of big dip down in the middle of the day, and then that big sharp recovery. That's kind of what happened overall in oil as well. So again, we're just kind of watching the market, seeing how everything that's happening in the Middle East is affecting things, and then we're playing that accordingly, right? So it's always good to get a basis of what each sector is doing and things like that, and correlate them with the market. And that's what we're doing here with our bonds. So we're keeping an eye on how the bonds are responding because basically, for example, if you get a nice sharp jump in the SPY and TLT goes up too, then you know something's up, right? So especially if the VIX follows, so you have the volatility up, VXX, or just the VIX itself is up, TLT's up, and the market's up, then you know something's not right. A healthy market is always going to have VIX and bonds go down and the market rising on its own. So how oil correlates into all of this is basically just because of what is happening in the Middle East right now, but we're definitely keeping an eye on what is happening there and correlating that with our market for sure. And then that is affecting what's going on in TLT. So pop in the market today, drop in bonds. That's good. That's what we like to see. So a little bit of mean reversion here from all of last week and especially what happened on Monday. So let's see if we can start even things out a little bit here more. If we do get a little bit more of a run up in our overall market, look for the bonds to go back down below this 50-day SMA. Then we'll be kind of back where we were since December into February here. But if not, look for the bonds to stay elevated. We're going to go back up to 90. Watch your oil, watch your VIX, and then watch the SPY drop if we do get a nice little pop over here in our bonds. So kind of keep all that in mind as we are watching here in the overall markets. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you are interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.